Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Speeding?
No, it's because your intro sucks. Please step out onto the curbside.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Curbside Podcast, the podcast where we talk about cars and everything to do with cars. My name is Jeff. I drive a 2004 Honda S2000, and I am your Taiwanese American Southern Californian, and Parth is a cheerleader, apparently.
Yeah! Give me a why. Why are we here? That's the why for. What's up, everybody? My name is Parth. I drive a 2016 BMW M3, living up in Northern California's Bay Area. And Daru is not here today.
He abandoned us.
If you're curious, he drives a 2015 BRZ and a 2014 Mitsubishi Evo MR. I don't even own the cars that I did better than this guy did. Did you see this shit? I got it right?
Yeah. You know his car's better than he does.
I don't even own these cars, man. Look at this shit. God damn it.
But he recently got new wheels for that Evo of his.
It looks sick.
Yeah. You guys should check it out on our Instagram.
You know what's funny? When Andrew was saying he's gonna buy an Evo,
yeah.
I was like, in my mind, that's the look that I had for an Evo with those style of wheels. When he finally got those wheels, I was like, this is what I had visioned for his car.
This was my plan for your car.
It looks sick.
It looks real nice. And that blue color looks real good.
Now he actually needs a wing. And the thing is like big wings look like kind of like, all right, this guy's like 5 years old. But on an Evo, they work. They really work.
I feel like, especially in the Evo 10, without the big wing, it looks kind of bald.
Yeah.
Like it's good. It's like me with a receding hairline. Oh, look at me!
You don't have a receding hairline. You have too much hair right now. Actually, open the country.
We've been saying that for the past like 3 weeks. We might as well join the protesters at this point.
I know, right? Yeah, look at this shit. My hair is hella long.
So, did you see recently that James May had a chat with T.J. Hunt?
Yeah, I saw that, and we tagged him in a Twitter post, and he can't reply to that. But that's cool.
That's not fair. I want how do we get James May onto this show?
I don't know. Keep tagging him on Twitter.
We'll just say he will be on our show, and then he'll be on our show.
Will he though?
Yes, that's how that works, right?
Yeah. Well, James May, if you ever listen to this is the best platform you're ever going to be on if you come on the show.
Yes, of course. we're very modest here, as you can see.
You think TJ Hunt's cool? He got shit on us.
Yeah, look at us sitting in our rooms. I'm sure James May would like to talk to intelligent people. Clearly, we're not very intelligent people.
No, not really.
So, Barth, I want you to come up with ideas with me. How do we get James May on the show?
I just resort to begging. See, you gotta like somehow. Well, first of all, you need to have a bigger following, viewer base, whatever. There's another podcast I listen to. Called Foreplay by Barstool Sports. Shout out to them. Good podcast.
Sounds like some dirty stuff.
I know, but it's not. It's about golf. One of the main guys in that show, he has like a pretty shitty looking swing and like whatever, and his putting sucks.
Yeah.
And he posted that stuff up on like social media.
Yeah.
And one of the like famous like golf legends, like his name is Nick Faldo. He started like replying to him and like started giving him shit for it. Then like they developed this back and forth, and then he was on the show like this past week.
So idea. We drive like crap.
Yeah, and then tag James May.
Yeah, we drive like crap, crash into all the center dividers, maybe even end up injuring ourselves and be like, yo, James May, come on the show.
Yeah, no, not like that, but like, yo, James May, how do I drive? Teach me how to drive.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me the process of the internal combustion engine with an inline six twin turbo charged?
Actually, you probably enjoy that sort of stuff.
He probably would.
Hey, can you come on our show?
Edit that part out. Edit that part out. Don't let anyone else listen to it. Those will take our idea. They'll take our idea, man. Speaking of engines,
yeah,
horsepower wars.
What about horsepower wars?
Every motherfucker these days is just chasing horsepower. Like,
yes,
horsepower.
Are they really though? I feel like 1,000 was like the cap. Like
It's not the cap anymore.
I mean, it's not the cap. 1,000 is not the cap. But after we hit 1,000, people were like,
We're gonna have, like we talked about last week and the week before, 1,000 horsepower Corvette in the near future.
Yeah,
Which is gonna cost the least amount it ever has from a company to buy a 1,000 horsepower car.
we don't know that yet. We might.
It will. It's not gonna cost. Like, what of the 1,000 horsepower manufacturer built cars are there, and how much do they cost?
Toyota Supra.
I said manufacturer built.
Yeah. The manufacturer built the Toyota Supra, and then
No,
some
dude,
tuning company takes it.
That's not 1,000 horsepower. They gave you a platform, be like, hey, look at this. Here's a dry canvas. Use it to build your 1,000 horsepower car.
But hey,
I'm
you were saying
from a manufacturer.
so 1,000 horsepower from manufacturer.
Yes. Tell me who
Bugatti Veyron.
That costs. That's cheap in your eyes.
Oh, we're talking about cheap ones.
I'm talking about dollars per horsepower here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Tell me. First, list the cars that come from factory with 1,000 horsepower, or close to it. Okay, and then I'll tell you the price of all of them.
Honda Civic.
This guy doesn't get it. this guy doesn't fucking get it. Like, I don't understand. I want you to tell me cars with BMWs, Honda, Bugatti, Ferrari, Lambo. They, when that shit rolled off the production line, had 1,000 horsepower. Not what fucking, Honda Civic Lawnmower Joe down the street put into his shit can.
Toyota Supra.
I hate this guy. There'll be a new opening at the Curbside Podcast for a co-presenter. If you would like to apply, please send it to me and I will decide who replaces me. Because I'm done with this shit.
Bugatti Veyron.
Yes, and?
Koenigsegg.
And? You're taking way too long. Ferrari, Porsche, Koenigsegg,
Do
Bugatti.
they have 1,000 horsepower?
Which
Ferraris.
one? Yeah, LaFerrari.
They have like 900 or something.
I said or close to it. You don't pay attention to what I say. You delayed this entire thought I had going, which was we have these expensive cars, right? Which are considered pretty much out of reach except for like the 1% of the 1%. But now you have Corvette coming in here, and they're probably going to offer this car for a lot less than these other 1,000 horsepower manufacturer cars.
So just the 1%, not the 1% of the 1%.
The 1.5%.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But it's more attainable. See, that 0.5 makes a difference.
I love like all the more attainable things are things we still can't afford.
Yeah, exactly. We're not talking about people like us, people who can actually afford this shit. But anyway, that's going to set a precedence to now lower the cost of getting a high horsepower car, or it's going to make the ones that cost a lot go like, all right, we'll put 2,000 horsepower into this. So my question is, where the hell does this shit stop?
How much horsepower does a warship make?
What was it, like 10,000 or something?
No, I think the USS Iowa is like 212,000 horsepower.
They also have a room for the engine. Like, it's the size of a house, that room.
Hey, true, man, but like before, 1,000 horsepower meant 1,000 horses. But we shoved that and crammed it into Bugatti Veyron.
So you think that at some point they'll be able to manufacture, I'm not saying 10,000, I'm going to say 8,000 horsepower engine.
Probably not engine.
Size.
Probably it's going to end up being an electric motor.
Then you're going to run out of battery.
They got a big room for the battery. The next 10,000 horsepower car, okay, will be supercar with these massive motors. And then trailing behind it will be a trailer of batteries.
For batteries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, because otherwise, how else? It's going to take like 4 days to charge so you can go full power with the trailer on.
For 2 minutes.
Don't tell Elon. He might develop that shit. Did you see he's selling all his houses?
Yes.
Why is he selling all his houses?
I don't know, man. The guy's crazy. How do we get Elon Musk on the show?
Oh, shit. Yo, at Elon Musk.
No, he's going to come out and like rip us a new one, dude.
Why? Just because he's the 1% of the 1%?
Nah, and he's like smart, crazy man, dude.
That's true. He's actually really smart. I don't want somebody smarter on the show than us.
Well, I mean, everyone's smarter than us. Whoever comes on the show, all of them will be smarter than us.
That's true. They don't really have a very high bar to go after. Once they come on the show. I would love to have Elon Musk on the show, though. The future of my city rests on what decision you make, whether you move the company or not.
What's going to happen? Like, who's going to move into that company?
He can't move it, dude. He can't move it. It doesn't make any sense.
You could do the whole SpongeBob and Patrick thing.
He's going to pick it up and move it over there?
Let's just pick it up and push it somewhere else.
He's not going to move it. It doesn't make any sense to move it. Because that's just going to...
He's been threatening to move it since before this whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to cost a lot. Like, it's going to cost a lot of money and also time.
And jobs. And then a lot of brand hatred towards Tesla. Because the biggest fanboys right now are in Fremont of Tesla. Yeah, I mean,
so you're just going to take everyone from Fremont and hate him, like, put them against
California is his, like, prime...
fan base.
Yeah, prime fan base and customer base right now.
And where does he want to go? Texas?
I think so, yeah.
That's not going to work.
You know, Texas... when I think about Texas, I always think about electric cars, not, like, pickups and guns and stuff.
And, yeah, like, cactuses and, like... cowboys. You know what I think of when I think of Texas? I don't know if they still have it right now. So if anybody's from Texas, let us know. They used to have this license plate because it's called the Lone Star State, right?
Yeah.
So they used to have a license plate where it was like the night sky and it had a lone star and like a space shuttle because the Houston, the NASA shit has to do with Texas.
Yeah.
So it has a space shuttle and the star and like a cactus. So whenever I think of Texas, I just envision that scene from the license plate.
You envision the big Texas logo in the sky.
Yeah.
The state kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
Lone Star State written on the ground.
Exactly. This is literally what I see.
Which state has the coolest license plate?
Texas is pretty sick.
That's a pretty good one.
California's just the worst.
California is just California in cursive. Yeah. Unless you get one of those fancy plates. That's a good question. What is the coolest state license plate? So I'm on a
very reputable website. Yes, that's where we go to on the Curbside podcast.
We're on a website called Aceable, and the article is titled "All 50 U.S. license plates ranked worst to best." If you guys want to look that up right now. Well, number 50 is Louisiana.
And I'm guessing these are stock license plates, not the special ones that you pay extra for.
Well, I'm gonna go straight to number 1 here. They have number 1 as New Mexico. Nah, dude, that doesn't look that cool.
No, that's not that cool.
Oregon.
I like South Carolina's with the palm tree and the moon.
Hawaii is nice and simple.
Hawaii's that's their
rainbow.
The closest to California. They could have done something so much more. If they're Hawaii, dude. Are you kidding me? Utah
is pretty sick.
Is sick. Yeah.
Is that the stock one, do you think?
That's the arches. Yeah. I've seen it.
Wow, that's incredible.
I've seen it on a lot of the Utah cars.
Tennessee is not bad.
Just a picture of their state.
Yeah. Oh, look at North Dakota's.
I like North Dakota's
too. It's got the sunset and a bison.
No. Wyoming.
Oh,
yeah.
Wyoming looks like they got like someone's landscape shot and like straight up.
That's fine with me. I mean, they got some of the best landscape out there.
Yeah, but
Arizona, I like Arizona's. I would have preferred that as number 1. Oh, North Carolina wins. It says first in flight. I just have to go with that one.
It's got the freak. What is? Oh, is that the right?
The Wright Flyer.
Plane?
Yeah.
Is that where they're from?
Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Well, that's where they did the first flight.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
someone's biased here. Mr. Pilot guy, of course.
Nope, I'm not biased. Where does California rank on this, actually?
California
It should be 50th. It's 43rd? Why? Oh, I guess Texas's stock one is...
Oh, Texas's stock one is pretty boring.
Yeah.
So I want to say the best one for me would be Utah or... Actually, Utah, North Dakota, or Arizona.
I love New Jersey's. Like, it just describes the state. Just fucking boring yellow. Just bullshit.
New Jersey it says Garden State in big bold letters,
and they
use yellow license plate,
shit color,
and then it's got the little state in between the numbers. I mean, we don't even have that in California, dude.
let me preface this. Our opinion about your state's licenses doesn't reflect what we think about the people. We're just talking about, I think California is the fucking worst license plate. It should be 50th.
You know, we had a much better one before.
We did, yes.
We had the one with the sun on it, right? It's better than the one we have
California
right now.
Such a good state, and then what do they do represent it? California in cursive. Hello.
That's all. That's all we get.
Yeah. Like, hey, that ain't about that.
All right. Shall we go to our break?
Yeah.
All right, welcome to our break. It is May, which is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just want to say that if you are dealing with any sort of problems like that, please go out and seek help. Talk to someone, talk to a loved one, but professional help is always the best sort of help you could get for that. It does not make you any less if you do. In fact, it makes you stronger. During these times where we're all locked inside, I'm sure it's not doing well for our mental health. So, yeah, just wanted to give that a mention. And as always, thank you for all the doctors and nurses out there doing your hard work.
And the first responders and the EMTs, don't forget about them.
Yeah, and the technicians and the janitorial staff at the hospitals and all our essential workers out there. If you want to find us, you could go to the curbsidepodcast.com where you could find links to all our stuff. We also have a YouTube channel. Go check us out. Just look up the Curbside Podcast on YouTube. Because it's quarantine, we've been cranking a lot of YouTube content out. So it would be great if you go check that out.
If you want to email us at thecurbsidepodcast@gmail.com. And check us out on our socials. Facebook, just search up Curbside Podcast. Instagram, @The Curbside Podcast. Twitter is @The Curbside Pod. We don't have a LinkedIn, but we do have a YouTube channel, which Jeffrey talked about.
The LinkedIn.
We should make a LinkedIn.
We don't have a Tinder either.
Oh, shit. Yo, that's a way to get viewers.
Find the Curbside Podcast on Tinder.
Oh, God. Yeah, hit us up. Hit us up on the socials, whatever. If you guys want questions or any topics you want us to talk about. Any topics you want us to talk about. You know how hard that was after what I said and then what Jeffrey said. So let us know. Hit us up. We'll give you a shout out. You know, if that's your thing. Let's go to the news.
Now that we got you loose, I can hear the birds waking early to
All
sing.
right, Barth. It's the news. Barth,
Yes, sir.
do you know what the Magnum is?
No.
It's basically like a Charger wagon. So I see this article on Drive Tribe. It looks like someone out there is building a Magnum Hellcat wide body.
I want it.
Yeah, like
I want it.
like
I want it. I want this more than the Hellcat.
I love wagons. We love wagons on this show, and
Yes, we
this
do.
looks amazing. I love before that the whole car is even done. It's
not even done. It's gonna look amazing.
Look at it, dude. It's got the new face.
I hate this country
Why?
because this country killed the wagon. This country literally just murdered it. Just put it in a box and then beat it over the head with a shovel and then threw acid all over it. And the main weapon of choice was the fucking SUV.
Yep. So, anyone at Dodge listening to this, go and make this. You see?
Or just make one of one and give it to us. We will fucking celebrate the shit out of it. Are you kidding me? I will drive around with a Dodge.com spray painted all over the car if you need me to.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
whatever you need, dude.
If you make
that's
this,
sick.
we will be sponsored by Dodge even
Forever.
without being paid.
Yeah, you could literally get a sponsorship. You don't have to pay us. Just send one of these.
Dodge, just hire this guy, whoever's making this. It's a guy on Instagram called JFab, at JAYEFAB. So, guys, if you guys want to go check that out and support this build, why don't you go and give him a follow, because this is sick.
Your spelling mistake got me like next level fucked up because I was staring right at the spelling and I was like, "What?" I'm like, hang on, JEYE. How does that work?
G.
Yeah, they need to make that, and I want that.
Yeah.
Another manufacturer, Porsche. Wow, what a transition! Fucking A1. Another manufacturer.
Speaking of cars,
Porsche. It just launched its own platform, which you can use to search Porsche dealerships across the country for pre-owned Porsche vehicles that you want. This is not anything new in particular.
yeah, this is basically a used car search,
Yes.
otherwise known as the internet.
But they also have tied this into Porsche's home delivery service. So once you have found the car that you want anywhere in the country, you can have it delivered to your door with a seamless access to our products. As they say, seamless access to our products is a top priority in our existing e-commerce strategy with the goal of creating a one-stop shop for new and pre-owned vehicles.
So it's basically Porsche's version of Carvana.
Yeah, or like BMW's used car search, or Cadillacs, or freaking anybody else's.
It's one of those like mail order car things.
Yeah.
Can I get it in 2 days?
If you have a Porsche Prime, maybe.
Porsche Prime. You know how we were talking about how the Supra last time, basically because it has a BMW engine, they were basically lying about the horsepowers?
Yeah, I know.
So we know that the new 2021 Toyota Supra has come out, and it's rated at a higher horsepower than the previous generation. Correct?
Higher, yeah.
Yeah. It's rated at 382 horsepower. Car Driver went and did their dyno, as they always do, and they found that Toyota has been lying again. So the dyno run of the 2020 Toyota Supra was doing 345 horsepower to the wheels. We know it was rated for 335.
345 times 15%. It's actually making like 400 horsepower at the crank.
Well, the new 2021 Toyota Supra is making 388.15 to the wheels. And they rated at 382 to the crank, basically.
If you consider, again, a 15% drivetrain loss, it's 446 at the crank.
Jeez, dude.
And let me also make this clear. 15% is the old way of thinking about drivetrain loss. Most people these days think it's around like 8%, maybe. So we could be looking, I told you, 500 horsepower. I'm not surprised.
Definitely, they're lying about the horsepower figures, as always.
You know why?
Why?
Because it feels fast. Because like you'll be driving the Supra, like, yeah, I got like 300. What did you say? 382 is what they said now?
382, yeah.
I got 382 horsepower. Wow, but it feels so fast. It doesn't feel like 382. Yeah, it doesn't, because it's not. It's not.
Honestly, though, if I'm driving a 382 horsepower car, I'm already thinking like, this is fast.
Yeah,
so
but
once
the
I
thing
get it,
is,
it's like,
wow, that 382 hits different, bro. That's what they're trying to go after. Like when I drive my car,
yeah.
414 is what they say, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like 414. It's like 500. Like,
has
easily.
anyone dynoed the M3?
Yeah, they have a bunch of them, dude. The 414 is a massive lie.
What's it around? More?
I don't remember, but I think it's like close to 500, like 480 something. Yeah.
It's not even like lying a little bit. It's like
it's
lying
a massive
a lot.
lie. Yo, we're calculating like a 30% drivetrain loss. Are you really? Is that true? Because by seat of the pants, it doesn't feel like 414. And BMW's the worst at it. Everyone does it now. I mean, everyone in that segment, like Mercedes, Audi, whatever.
You know, the American car companies should learn this. Like when that new 1,000 horsepower Corvette Zora thing comes out, right? You say it has 4 horsepower, and then you get in it in Florida. It's like, wow, this is so fast for 4 horsepower.
Maybe that's the solution to what we were talking about earlier, horsepower wars. It's gonna be like the new Ferrari LaFerrari squared has 50 horsepower. What? Whoa, this is the fastest 50 I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, you know Italians don't do that, though.
No, Italians
overrate.
Actually, Italian, yes.
They lie the other way.
I was going to say, Italians be lucky if they're getting the numbers they're reporting.
Yeah, because we're getting the Lamborghini Aventador. They call it the LP 700-4, right?
It was 670 or something like
yeah.
that.
It's like, it's pretty much 700.
Which is okay. There's worse things you can lie about at Volkswagen. You talked about the Hellcat wagon.
Yes.
I got something along the lines of that. A 707 horsepower Hellcat powered Jeep Grand Wagoneer.
So we have the Hellcat wagon and the Hellcat
Wagoneer. Yes.
Dude, I would love this.
Dude, it's sick.
I love.
But my problem is,
yeah.
How is 707 horsepower? How are these wheels gonna handle that?
How's that suspension gonna handle that, dude?
Right? So
did they upgrade any of the suspension and stuff, or did they just shove the Hellcat engine?
So here's the thing. Basically, this company, Collins Bros Jeep, they restored it. Original paint, original factory stuff on it, original grille, glass, bumpers. 51,000 odd miles since new. So I mean, it's a pretty good example. And they're selling it right now for $128,000. Everything has remained stock except for the engine, which is the same Hellcat engine that you find in the
That's
the
gonna be
Challenger,
fun.
the Charger, the Trackhawk, blah blah.
Can you imagine turning a corner in this? If it has the stock Jeep Grand Wagoneer suspension.
And these are the SUVs from the generation where the SUVs could flip over.
Yeah, like a very high likelihood of it flipping over.
I mean, it doesn't say anywhere in this article if they've done anything to the suspension,
Yeah.
but I would really hope they did.
You know, I would love to have this because I love the way the Grand Wagoneer looks.
Yeah, seriously,
Like,
it looks fantastic.
It's one of those cars that rocks wood side paddling really well for some reason.
Did this have a column-mounted shifter?
Probably. Yes, it did.
Yo, how did this I really hope they did something to the transmission too. Then, if it's the stock transmission, this thing's gonna blow up. I don't want this anymore.
I would still have it. I might
Really?
die in it, but yeah,
You won't die in it because I'm pretty sure as soon as you turn it on, you're gonna blow the car up.
that's true. That's
But
true.
it did say for 500 miles it's had this engine now, so somebody's been driving it.
Yeah. Well,
Well-
while we're on the topic of custom-built cars, I've got another custom wagon right here.
Oh yeah.
It's I don't know if you'd like this one as much, okay?
Why?
This is a Tesla
Nope.
Model S wagon.
Nope.
It goes on sale for $200,000.
What?
It's built by some sort of
I'm
Dutch
not gonna
company.
lie though. As much as I hate Tesla, this looks pretty fucking
Yeah,
sick.
dude, because it's a wagon.
Yeah.
It's a custom-built wagon by Remitz Car, it looked like.
And Niels Van Roy design. Companies are stupid. People
Yeah.
are stupid. Companies are stupid. This country is full of stupid people. Look at that. Why would you buy a Model X over this?
Right, why doesn't the Model
better.
X have a proper back like this either?
Who cares
Like-
about the Model X? It looks like a turd. Some Elon Musk shitted out in the morning. But look at this. Like this looks good. I always thought the Model S was the best looking Tesla that they made.
Yeah, definitely.
And now you put a wagon in it? That's it. If you on this show have bought an SUV over a wagon, don't listen anymore. Like, you are the reason why there's cars in this country, or cars that are made that can't come to this country.
No,
Because
guys,
you chose to buy an
SUV
SUV.
because we need your listeners.
No, I want quality people listening to our show, Jeff.
Just listen to our show. Don't listen to Parth.
Listen to me. Buy a wagon, sell your SUV, burn it, drive it off a cliff. Show
You sell it.
manufacturers.
All right, sell your SUV first to someone. Once they buy it, burn it and drive it off a cliff.
Maybe the order of events wasn't correct. Real quick, this is not part of the news, but have you seen the new Ford Explorer? I'm so fucking like two-faced ass. Have you seen the new Ford Explorers?
No.
They look really sick. If Ford made a wagon, I would buy that over the Explorer. But that new
Would you
Explorer,
really?
the next new Explorer looks really nice. Actually, I saw it on the street. I saw it on the street the other day, and I was like, "God damn, this looks nice, dude! I can't wait for these to be cop cars."
Looks like the last Explorer.
No, it doesn't, dude. That's the problem with you. You're not a Ford Explorer aficionado.
It looks exactly the same like
It
the last
doesn't.
Explorer.
It doesn't look. It doesn't look exactly the same. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, wow, it's so different, man.
Yeah, it is. Are you kidding me, man? Look
Oh,
at this.
wow, it's like a practically. It's
Look
like
at that,
I
and look
can't
at this.
recognize it, man.
Americans these days aren't doing what they used to do, which is like revolution every single fucking generation of cars. Now they're learning. They're learning from the Europeans, and they're making nice, good-looking changes. You just happen to be not open-minded enough to realize small changes make big differences.
Nah, man, it's the same car.
No, you're the same fool that I knew in college. So you know what? Fuck you. And the new Explorer, they come with everything leather in it, all the nice little things, but you don't pay the stupid exorbitant European SUV prices for it. First of all, we need to stop buying SUVs. But the new Explorer looks good, if you are looking for one.
What the heck are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I've lost my mind. But the thing is, wagons look sick. America's to blame. But if we're gonna look at SUVs, the Ford Explorer, the new one, looks pretty cool.
Barth, I think you should sell your M3 and go buy
I'm
a
not buying an
Mustang.
Explorer. What, a Mustang?
Man, you go into these American cars all the time now. Why do you even own a BMW?
Why do I, dude? That was the old me. That was the old me when I thought European cars were the best. McLaren. Speaking of European cars, God damn, I can't win today, dude. I can't win today. I'm just so talk about wagons, and all of a sudden we're talking about SUVs. Then, God damn it. Anyway, continuing. We talked about this a while ago. The McLaren Elva.
Oh, McLaren Elva.
And you know how, like, they said it's not going to have a windscreen and, like, shit like that?
Yeah.
So McLaren decided that their $1.7 million, 804 horsepower open cockpit car probably won't sit too well with the people who buy them if all the time they're driving they end up with bugs and wind and water and, like, who knows what all over their face, right?
Uh-huh.
So they decided to have a clever solution instead of a windshield to protect you from all of this happening. That's how they do it.
So they put up a shield
In the front hood.
in the front hood.
Yes.
So they put a windshield in the front hood.
No, it's not a windshield. It's like a little flap.
Is it?
Look, there's no windshield. If you look at this photo.
Yeah. I know. I know. It's just a shield.
This black shit pops up and then wind goes woo right over it. These guys got to drive it with this system, and they said at 30 miles an hour it felt as if it had a windshield, which is crazy. Open air car. At 50 you could still talk normally with the driver, and at 70 there was breezy but was much less buffeting as when they had this shit was off.
So they put in at the front of the car, not a windshield, but a shield that protects you from the wind.
Yes, it's a shield that protects you from the wind.
That's not a windshield.
No.
All right, good, great.
Yeah. Why didn't they just make this a convertible?
Yeah, with a windshield?
Or a spider? Yes. Like, just put a windshield. It looks sick already. Like, come on. Like, do you really have to go through that? I don't even like open cockpit cars. I think that's
I'm not gonna lie. I think it would look better with a windshield.
I think so. I think it would look better with a windshield. And you'll still have people paying your $1.7 million that you want for it. And McLaren's like Nike. They come out with a new car every 2 minutes, so it doesn't matter what you really do, because 5 years from now, or not 5 years, 5 minutes from now, they're going to come out with another car that's going to replace this. Have you realized that with McLaren, up until, 15 years ago, was, like, irrelevant? It was, like, this special name. Oh, the McLaren Mercedes SLR. And then they were like, no, we're going to make street cars now. They came out with the MP412C. And then they came out with the 650S. Then they did the 675 LT, the 570. Started making a bunch of road cars. Not only did they make that, so they make their main line, right, which is like 720 and the 570. Then you can get a 570S, a 570. Now they took away the 570 GT, and now it's just the McLaren GT.
This is the reason why I don't follow McLaren very much, because I don't understand their lineup.
Exactly. You know why? Because they're like Nike. They come out with a car every 2 minutes. And it has a new name from the old name, like 570. When the 570 came out, that was supposed to be the cheaper mid-engine entry-level McLaren, right?
Is that the same one as the MP4-12C, or is it a different?
No, it's completely different. So they went from MP4-12C to 650S, right?
So that was the same car.
No, it's a different car. It was a newer version.
But yeah.
Same line. Yes. So they had that, and then they came out with the 675 LT, which was based on the 650. But it had 675 horsepower, track-oriented, lightweight, and they had a long tail. That's why I called it the LT, which was a homage to the old long tail car that they used to make back in the day. And then that became a special edition. All right. And they made that for a while. Then they made a few other special edition cars here and there during that generation, because they always do that. Then they were like, we're going to make this more affordable for the average Joe and the everyday guy. So then they came out with what's the 570. And then they had two lines within the 570, which was the 570S, which is the sports version, or the track-oriented, the hardcore version, which was cheaper than the other one, which is the 570 GT, which is a GT, supposedly, in a mid-engine car. But it costed more, had less horsepower, was less track-oriented, and less sporty than the S. And then they came out with the 720S. And let's not also forget...
What's the 720? Which lineup is that? Is that
720 is the new 650.
Okay. You see, this is why you don't use numbers. But yeah, okay.
And then, and don't forget, they also had the 570 long tail. They made a special version of the 570 as well. And now they make a 570S, but they no longer make a 570 GT. Now that's called the McLaren GT. They took the 570 out of that one. So now there's a new line, which is part of another line that used to be part of that line.
Yeah, see, like you go to Lamborghini, okay? You go to Lamborghini, you have their affordable car, the V10
Yes.
Huracan that has a name. And then if they want to do special versions of that, they just add bits to Huracan.
Yeah, and then they call it the Performante.
Yeah. And
Or
then you have the V12 Monster, the Aventador.
Yes.
Again, you add the whatever. And then there's special Halo cars that you could name them whatever the heck
Whatever
they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when McLaren's just sitting here with just a bunch of letters and numbers, which one do I buy? I don't know. Yeah, and you know how these car companies usually have like a Halo car, like Ferrari releases every decade.
Yes.
Their LaFerrari type deal, their F40, their whatever. McLaren has like 3 of them, don't they? They have the P1, the Senna, the long tail. Speed tail, I mean. So everyone was like, yeah, the P1 is the replacement for the F1.
Yeah.
And then the speed tail comes out with the 3-person cockpit and super high speed. I'm like, so is that what the F1 is?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand this lineup.
And that's why if you look at used McLarens, like to buy,
Yeah.
compared to like Ferrari and Lamborghini, it's insane. You can buy a 570S from like 2018, 2019 today for like $150,000.
Wow.
A 2010 458 Italia, that shit still costs $150,000 10 years later. Because McLaren just keeps pumping cars that the last cars lose the value of it.
Yeah.
And then plus it's a McLaren, so it'll probably break down at some point.
Oh, that lovely reliability.
Yeah, British reliability. That's what they say.
That's what. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
what,
that's my little spiel about McLaren. I love what they do, but there's some shit
just
they gotta figure
confusing,
out.
dude.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that will be our show for this week. Thank you again for listening. As always, you can find us at the curbsidepodcast.com, where you can find links to all a Libsyn page where it has links to all our stuff, like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, and so on. Also, we have, again, a YouTube channel. Look us up on YouTube, the Curbside Podcast, and subscribe so you can get more content.
As said previously, you guys can also check us out in our social media. Holy crap, English is hard. Social media is Instagram at the Curbside Podcast, Twitter at the Curbside Pod. Check us out on YouTube. Just search for us. Facebook, just search for us. Check us out. Hit us up. Send us an email if you want to at the curbsidepodcast@gmail.com. And thank you to Kid Dope for the intro and outro to our show, Fast Cars and Wild Hearts.
And as always, my name is Jeff.
My name's Parth.
Remember, drive safe, and life is too short to drive boring cars.
Drive it fast.
What?